Hello, everyone. I'm Popcorn here today because my friend and I are going to share a little bit about a new income system that we are working on. And she actually got me introduced into this beautiful company, and I'm really excited to share that with you. And so I'm just waiting for her to pop on, sending her the invite. Hopefully she gets it. Technology sometimes. There we go. Love it. Hi.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm doing lovely. So happy that we
Good.
get to finally do this.
I
Here,
know, me
let me
too.
set my favorite filter. Hold on. Oh, not the dark one. Here we go. There we go.
Beautiful, beautiful. So I just wanted to introduce you to my followers that I have. This is Sabre, and she's introducing a new income model to women who are wanting to build empires, wealth, freedom, and legacy while still living your witchy, multi-passionate, fully expressed life and learning how to create income without sacrificing who you are. And I think that's what appealed to me the most when I came across you is I was like, wait a minute, like she's still witchy. She still gets to do her things and be, express. And that was like really important to me in looking for a way to actually like build income and stability and legacy and freedom and all of that kind of stuff. So, do you want to kind of like explain to everybody, I guess, what you do in general?
Yeah. Yeah, I love it. Well, the full download of what we do and how we're supporting women around the globe in this space is actually in a free masterclass that I am teaching tomorrow. So whoever's watching this, reach out to whoever's page you're watching this, reach out to Shalon or myself and check it out. It's free because, we give the full details
Break
where we
of
just like
everything.
really spell it out there. And what I really love about what we do though is it's really ultimately just helping people see that there is another way. Like I personally really wanted to get into digital marketing when it was pre-COVID and I've always been a jack of all trades, master of none kind of thing. Like I've always been creative. I've done things like everything from figure drawing to dancing to playing music to energy healing to um yeah, making jewelry, just so many different things that that I was passionate about that I thought, oh, okay, like I could make a little business side gig with this and with this, or,
Mhm.
maybe I sell other people's products or services and then, that's some leverage, right? Where I don't have to do it. But when I was looking at digital marketing models, like I saw, for instance, there was, I can't remember his name, but it was a 7-year-old who was literally making millions of dollars through affiliate marketing on YouTube. And I'm like, it was one of those things that I was like, if there's people who do it, there's got to be a way that I could figure out how to do it. But I kind of had this idea that you had to be an influencer, that you had to have a lot of followers, that you kind of had to put on this circus show, so to speak, like I wanted to find something that felt really authentic to me. So I was on the hunt, and this was like before lockdowns had taught a lot of us business owners, especially me, because at the time I was relying on gigs and events and, live events, doing energy work and sharing my handmade art, my performance art at the time. And we all didn't expect, well, maybe some people expected it, but I didn't expect for lockdowns to happen and for us to
There.
kind of realize that, yeah, it's like, wow, if we're not doing something that is a necessity, that's really volatile. But I feel that I already kind of had this churning in my mind of wanting to have something that was sustainable because I mean at the end of the day I dropped out of college and I became an entrepreneur, but I was 3.5 years into building a business doing so many different things, and I poured like multiple six figures into a business that I still didn't have the profit to even really sustain myself. I was living the bus life, like nomadic bus life. And in a way, it was because, yes, I wanted that nomadic freedom, but also like pragmatically, it really was like, it was a struggle bus, like full pun intended on that. It's like, it's glamorous until it's really not when you
You're in
really
it
look
and
at
you're
the
like,
surface.
not as glamorous as I thought it was.
Yeah, I'm like at this point, I'm like, why wouldn't I be able to have my own foundations and my sustainability, like not only just a roof over my head, but like financial stability where I can go travel in a bus and come back to my sanctuary home. Like that's kind of where I was realizing I needed to start stepping into. Give me one second, my cat is just meowing at my door. Come on, Monchetti. So anyway, I started looking into different things online, and it was mainly like I remember I was looking into e-commerce and Amazon drop shipping and just like these random webinars. I was just kind of signing up to whatever webinar I would find online, and nothing really stuck to me until I found this space because it really felt like it checked a lot of the boxes for me around having conscious community. That was really important to me, people that really aligned with my values around sovereignty and taking care of the planet, not just doing business just because you're making a bunch of money selling like phone accessories on drop shipping or something. Like that didn't excite me. um and yeah, partnering with something that was high ticket, that pays thousands of dollars, and it kind of really broke my brain a bit because it's like you partner with two companies. One of them's a wellness technology company, but in my brain, just like how you and I were talking in the beginning, I was like, well, I don't want to sell products on my social media.
Yeah.
Like, I want to still be who I am. But this woman, she kept sharing, she was like, I don't talk about products on my social media. Like, it's automated. You got to just check out the system. And I'm over here like, I was really annoyed because I was like, why, like, just tell me the thing. I want to understand it. And she just kept telling me, she's like, the best way to understand it is to like actually go through the back end process so you
Mhm.
see how technology can work for you on the back end. So anyway, long story short, I got around my resistances to it because at the end of the day, I knew I had to understand a new paradigm. So I had to be open to a new paradigm. And I just really listened to my intuition. I felt like the people were really genuine. And to this day, 6 years in, I've met some of my best friends in this community. My first year was definitely a big learning curve, but I felt really held and supported all the way through like the mentorship and just the sisterhood and the community. And um, yeah, it was basically, what was it, 15 or 16 months in, I had made more in 1 month than I ever made doing events and gig work at the time when I had done 26 events back to back festivals, not just like small events, but 26 events in 2019. And I hustled. And like the profit that I made from that year was about how much I made in 1 month in this business without doing any sales calls. I didn't even do like a webinar back then. I wasn't even teaching like the master classes that I do now. It was just plugging into the system. So that just like ever since then, I just have been really, really excited to share with people how you can do this. You can do this being however expressive that you really are. I'm a dancer, I'm a creative, and I really truly feel that this space has allowed me to like spread my wings in that way and not feel like I had to confine myself in a way that a lot of the gig work did with me before. And now I just feel that I get to create art in a way that feels exciting to me, and also through our social media and through our personal brand, which is like, you could do whatever you want, not just what like a gig tells you or pays you to do, right?
Exactly. And make it authentic to you. Absolutely. And I know what you mean because I've watched a million webinars and this seemed to continuously circle around and around and around in my life. And I was like, okay, maybe you need to like get out of your head and actually like take a look at this because
Mhm.
obviously the universe is continuing to show it to you. Like you keep planting these seeds, but you're, expecting them to show up a different way kind of thing. And so when I actually kind of like got out of my own way, right, and realized, okay, there is actually something here. And you already touched base on like the community. Like that there is an amazing community. And like, I, even working with you, I felt very supported and everything along the way. Um, and there's different communities, which I think is beautiful in itself too. You just find your people and you gravitate to them, right?
Yeah.
And so I loved that that was also a part of everything, because especially when you're a solopreneur for so long and doing everything on your own all the time, it's kind of hard to reroute to like shifting and realize that we're all working on the same thing. Like we all have the same like vision together. And that was like
Yeah.
really something that I was looking for.
Yeah, that's a big one for me. And when I think about this all the time when I was a solopreneur and I did want to collaborate with other people. I don't know if this has been a thing for you, but I wanted to collaborate with other people, but it always kind of seemed to fizzle out because we did have to hustle, you know? So if there wasn't a, it's nice to be in here because it really is, you get to now be in like, you're connected to a golden thread. It's a shared economy income model where like, I help you make more money and then I make more money. It's a win-win situation. And so it's like, then we're all like riding towards this similar vision, going through a lot of the similar struggles, yet also still being able to build this in our own unique way. So like, yeah, that's been something that's really been powerful, is even just like the sticking point of collaborations and community and entrepreneurial community. I feel like a lot of people are trying to build what we have here, but it always kind of fizzles out because people gotta trade their time for money, you know?
Mhm. And I love that it's like it's not competitive. Like you said, it's
Yeah.
collaborative. Like we're all working together, right? I don't feel that competition vibe, right?
Yeah.
So that is very important for me as well, because I feel like I have tried collaborating with a lot of people in the past and I felt like it was not balanced, if that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a really big thing I noticed also when I came into this space. It's like even with other people who are not even like financially intertwined, it's like it's such a yeah, everyone just shares what's working for them and what they're moving through, and they're just like offering their wisdom and their advice that people pay like seriously tens of thousands of dollars for coaching that we like get in this community for
Oh,
life,
yes.
you know?
That is the other thing.
Yeah.
There is like so much coaching that goes behind it in regards to like mindset and like shifting your identity. Like that's a big thing. And that's like what I'm all about with like the be her and everything, right? Is like
Yeah.
being who you are, like being authentically true to yourself, right? And are you actually doing that? Are you actually showing up in that way, right? And I felt like I was like, I don't really actually think that I am showing up the way that I want to be, right? And so it's been a
Mhm.
big learning curve for me. Like big, as you know,
It's so beautiful to watch. It's huge. It reminds me of a lot of my journey,
there's
actually.
been a lot
So,
of meltdowns along the way as well, but all for good. Like it's that growth, right? Like it's just how it is, shifting and changing things, but like in all the bestest ways, I feel. So
yes, love
mhm,
that.
it is exciting, but um, yeah. So is there anything like else that you feel we need to share about
I
besides the
would
fact that we have
say,
this beautiful webinar happening tomorrow?
yeah, definitely catch the masterclass for sure. It is going to be available for a limited time because the reason why we keep the replay is usually available for a limited time is because, like, really everybody wants to make money online. Everybody says that they want to make money online anyway. Everybody says that they want more. Everyone says that they want freedom. But I think it's really powerful to when you show up to actually explore what's here is to actually understand that this could really change the trajectory of your entire life. And I know that there's like a lot of noise in the online space. Everyone's like, I made 100K a month with this strategy, drop blah 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 from my PDF or whatever. And everyone's promising you like all these like quick wins. But something you said the other day really struck me where you said about the egg was like you were
Oh
saying
yeah,
that
are you buying chickens or are you buying eggs?
yeah, that was so
That
big.
yeah, that actually made me shift my mindset quite a bit when I was listening to something and they were talking about like, are you buying chickens or are you buying eggs? Like, if you are only buying eggs, you have to continuously buy eggs. You're running out of eggs all the time. But if you're buying chickens, you always have this influx of eggs coming in. And like, there's so many things that along this journey that like little things that I've picked up on that I was like, okay, and that's that mindset shift, right? It's like, am I actually like, I'm only buying eggs and this is getting me nowhere. And I've been doing this for so long that why I don't like, I want to get off the struggle bus, just like you were saying, like, I want to get off the struggle bus and start buying chickens so that there's always eggs coming in, right? And so that was really, yeah, like that made me start shifting my mindset, my thinking, and being like, okay, what am I focusing on here, right? And I'm also, like I've talked about, going through this like transitional phase of my life right now too, where like my youngest is graduating. And I said when my kids were little, I was like, oh my God, when they graduate, I'm still gonna be like, I feel like I'm still really young, but I'm like, I can still do whatever I want with my life. And this past year, I've been like, oh my God, what is that? Like, I had to figure it out right now, right? And so it was like, just I don't know how it managed to like just show up so quickly all of a sudden, that it was like, okay, now what are you actually doing with your life? Because you've been living your life for everybody else for so long, that it's like, what do you actually want, right? And I love your big vision thinking, Sabre. Like, that was like a big attraction for me to you, because like
Mhm.
you just have this like this perception that like anything is possible, and like these limitless opportunities, and like your dreams are so big. And I was like, I'm not dreaming big enough. Like, I talk about with people like that we need to dream bigger, but I wasn't doing it. And I think that like came with like my own upbringing and stuff, and what that looks like and everything, right? Like, I've had my own limiting beliefs and negative mindset and all that kind of stuff to work through along the way too. But like, it was just very eye opening to me, that I was like, oh my God, there is such a big world out there still that
Yeah.
is needs to be explored. And I'm not doing it. Right.
Yeah.
And this is also that tool and that vehicle that will allow me to do that. Right. As well as creating this legacy for my kids. And that was a big thing for me as well. So,
Yeah, that's huge.
mhm.
I mean, I think it's from all of us too. I had an upbringing of thinking really small too, like I grew up literally eating celery and peanut butter for lunch and dinner most of the time. Like I grew up with a solo mom that had welfare and government money and she was on disability, so we got in a really big car accident and she struggled with addiction and she's not even here anymore. Like she really like she had the scarcity template hard and we don't know anything. We don't know what we know until we know better. And like when I came into this space, I was literally in the mind frame of like, oh, it's so expensive to live in California because that's what everybody was saying. And I was living in a bus, but also like all of my money that I was earning was just going back into my business because I was just in this like hamster wheel scarcity loop. But when you find what's possible in digital marketing, it like really starts to open your mind. And I'm really excited for you to dive more in and explore this compensation plan deeper. Like on the webinar, I'll be like explaining it in layman's terms and you kind of
Yeah.
get it on the gist, but like when you really understand the pathway to generational wealth and actually how simple it is, like there are some people who literally earn generational wealth in like a year in this space.
Yeah.
It's not
And
average, it's not your typical rate at all. But even if it took you 5 to 10 years, that's quicker than like most people are even ever able to
people
have
work a
a
lifetime
full
to
college
never
degree.
build legacy for their family.
Yeah.
Right. And that was like that was, I think, my biggest thing trying to wrap my head around,
Mhm.
was the layout of everything, right? And
Yeah.
it finally kind of clicked the way like I heard you explain it the last time in the last class that I was in, that you or the last webinar that you had done that I was in, that I was like, okay, this is starting to make more sense to me. And even that's a big shift in the mindset, right? Like when
Yeah.
you have never made like, do you know what I mean? Like when
Totally.
you're not used to making that much money all the time, then
Yeah.
it's just like, I can't, like, I don't know, it's like one of those things, I guess, like you believe it when you see it kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
um yeah.
Yeah. And that's the beautiful thing is like you get to see that in this space. Like the company is about to have its 52nd anniversary this year and it's in
Hmm.
180 plus countries around the world. I don't know if
Yes.
you know this, but actually the first person who hit dash 8, which is where you're earning $80,000 monthly for the rest of your life. Okay, that's like a 7-figure income. And that's just, you can have multiple positions in this space. So you'll learn more about that later too. But like, he's definitely got multiple positions. And this man is in his 70s. Okay. He's from the Philippines. Okay. Like, it's so epic because you're like, oh my God, like, of course, if somebody can come in and they can do this from an underserved community, like, why would I not be able to? And he started like 20 years ago. This was way before social media and AI and everything. So I'm
Yeah,
just
so
like,
like not even access to the world, basically.
mhm.
Hmm.
Yeah, he's like coming into to our platforms and he's just like, "Oh my God, like how are you doing this on social media?" Like he's starting to actually crack into the world now, but I'm always telling people I'm like, "Why would it not be possible for you? You have to you and I understand that it's a big consciousness shift, especially if
Yeah.
we've never made, I never made even a $5,000 month before legally before coming into the space.
Legally.
Straight up.
Nobody would have known if you had said.
I'm just being
Nobody would have known.
real. I can say that now because it's been 6 years, I'm clean. But like, I grew up in the rough. Like we had to do some really interesting stuff to get by. We just like made it happen. And oh gosh, even in festivals, like don't even get me started. Festivals, I feel like a lot of the festival vendors, a lot of their booths is just kind of like a front for like all of these like hustles that are going on in the back end. So anyway, just side note.
That's another
I,
story.
that's a whole other story.
Story for
But
another.
also it's a big thing that I share because, where I'm from, marijuana is legal now. And actually like a big
Yeah,
part
same
of
here.
our
Yeah.
festival. Yeah, and a big
Yeah.
part of our festival community was funded before it was legal.
Mhm.
So then once marijuana got legal, it was like people were like, oh shit, like how do we actually sustain this? And this is why I'm so passionate about what we do because it's like this is such a golden era of what we're in right now. Ironically, where people are, worried about the prices of
Mhm.
gas and lettuce and all these things. It's like I just want everybody to know who is listening to this and watching this that like there's a whole nother paradigm. There are two different types of people that have these ways of thinking during recessions and inflation times like this. It is the people who are thinking, oh my God, we gotta pinch every penny, we gotta work really hard,
Mhm.
we gotta
Mhm.
not spend any, we gotta contract. Or there's people that expand, and there is no reason why you can't be making money. It's 2026. Like literally AI and the systems and the innovation, and especially with this community and the patented 52-year-old company that's gone through many recessions in those 50 years, like you have a huge opportunity to learn in the masterclass that I'm teaching. Also, Shalon and I are doing another one. So if you end up missing this
Nice.
one for whatever
Mhm.
reason, but yeah, there's always a way to just like tap in and learn what we do and really understand that there are solutions. It's almost like literally the more crazy life is in the economy, the better the opportunity. And this is the reason why is because what this is helping people with is solving the two biggest problems that the two biggest Googled questions are like, how do I improve my health, especially since COVID, right? And
Mhm.
how do I increase my income with the way
Mhm.
things have been going also
Yeah.
since
And
2020. So
this helps with both.
exactly. So it's
Yeah.
like you got to position yourself in a way where you're solving the world's biggest problems, and like that. This is stuff that like I wasn't talking like this when I came into this space, but like I talk about it now because I'm like, wow, I was making art and I loved what I did, and I felt like it was making a ripple effect through the hearts and through the frequency of what I was doing, but it really when it came down to it, when lockdowns just happened at the blink of a hat, and I realized what I was doing was not a necessity, I realized how important it was to not only help people from like my own sustainability and business, but also people need help. It's like our communities need help, and I was so tired of being in these beautiful spiritual conscious communities where people do have genuine hearts, but they have like the emptiest pockets. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's like
And
this is like the whole opposite of that world.
it does because it gives you the opportunity to be able, and I think like there like more money in the hands of women is how we're going to change the world, to be honest with you.
Yes.
And
Yes.
because we're the ones that want to make changes. right? We are the ones who want to make changes in the world and see a better place, right?
Yeah.
And we can't do that unless we are like financially stable within ourselves, right? And able to still do the things. Like this isn't a this or that thing, right? This is like this and that. Like we still get to have
Yeah.
these other dreams on top of building this legacy and building these beautiful structures for ourselves. More women in positions of power. Absolutely. Thank you for
Yes.
sharing that. I 100% agree with that too. And that's really what this is about, is being able to do that for yourself, for your dreams, for your family, for whoever. And like you had also said about the recessions and stuff, and like so many businesses that are still successful were built in recessions. They were
Yep.
because people saw opportunity as opposed to like lack and scarcity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And I like that you also said that it's not either or as well, because I think this is another big thing
Mhm.
that you've been moving through as well.
Yeah.
Is like,
And that I've been having to wrap my head around because I'm like, but then I
yeah,
can't do this anymore. And then I can't do that anymore. And it's like, no, no, no. You still get to do that and it'll be better.
it'll
Like,
be better. It'll
it'll be
be way
better.
better.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I remember I was like the retreats that I wanted to do was always like such penny pinching, like how can I find like the cheapest one to like offer the lowest tickets and like all these things. And now because it's a shared economy income model, I'm doing events in freaking castles. Okay. And like I
Yeah.
don't even have to like I have
Yeah.
something
Let's
that
just talk about that
literally
for a minute. Saber's doing an event in November in a freaking castle, and I
yeah.
hopefully will be there.
Yeah, you're
That
gonna
is
be
the
there. You're
goal.
gonna be there. Because the other thing that's really cool about it is like when you have a model like this and I'm offering it to our private community only for the women in this space because you guys are tapping in and investing in your health and your wealth to actually start to earn more money in the shared economy model. And like, it is more worth it to me to like give you guys milestones and a pathway to work towards so that when we get to the events, we're actually celebrating you having earned X amount of whatever your financial goal was, and we celebrate that at the castle.
Mhm.
You actually like paying a ticket for it. It's like because you could pay a ticket for the event, and if I was doing this, let's say for the public, I mean the event would be at least $7,000 with like the caliber that it is. Um, but outside of that, like I don't even have to do it that way because you guys. I would rather you guys have a low entry in and then you work your way up to make your damn money and be celebrated in the actual I call it a rites of passage event because
Mhm.
that's essentially what it is. It's like instead of actually coming and having this like transactional experience, like at a retreat where you pay for the experience, you have this beautiful breakthrough moment, and then everyone leaves and goes back to their jobs or whatever.
Right. Yeah.
This is something where
Go back to
we
reality.
yeah,
Right?
this is
Like, what
something where
the
we're like, we're anchoring something where, like, the more money that you guys make, the more that's actually funding this particular vision because it's funded through the compensation plan. Which, if this is like feeling,
It's
you're
all
like,
of us
what does this
working
make sense?
together. Really, it is. It's all of us working together. Right.
Yeah, all
Yeah.
of us working together, and money circulates. It funds the vision. It's funded by the business model and the compensation plan versus a transactional, oh, pay me for this experience and then, to come back every
Because
year.
you're still making money. Like we're still making
Yeah,
money by doing it. Right.
yeah,
Which I think is
exactly.
amazing. Yeah. Yeah.
And then year after year after year, you're going to be getting up the tiers in your ranks to eventually be earning generational wealth. And like that's why it's this beautiful movement of this rites of passage of like, imagine, like 5 years down the lane from now, that's when I have a goal to actually purchase a castle and turn it into a permanent event center for this work. And other transformational events, because we'll open it that way. But this particular one is like it is building the story and the movement and the journey for each woman to come year after year. And over the next 3 to 5 years, seeing you guys actually earning generational wealth, and then I'm earning generational wealth. And for me, one of my generational wealth positions, that's what I want to do with it is give it to the castle so that when I leave, that it's actually sustained long after I'm gone. And this is something that's built on a trust fund, which literally is able to be willed out 2 generations deep. And you can have multiple positions in this space. So even if I decide to have kids, I don't know if I'm going to or not, we'll see. I am not in control of destiny, but um, I can have multiple legacy positions, one to the castle, one to a kid, one to, I don't know, a charity or something like this, right?
Mm,
And that's the beautiful thing that, yeah, that's why my vision is so big now, because I'm like, well, I'm in this for life. What am I gonna do with my generational wealth? Like if people have hit generational wealth in 3 to 5 years, like what do I want to do in the next 5, 10? I started this when I was 25. I'm
yeah.
like, okay, well, I need to start thinking about what I'm going to do with my life. I'm like, definitely by the time I'm 80 years old, if that 70-year-old, without even being on social media, is dash
Yeah.
eight earning multi-millions passively, I'm like, I'm surely going to be in a castle for sure.
Mhm,
Like,
mhm,
duh. And more importantly than just the castle for aesthetic's sake, it's for me, the castles really represent leadership and hierarchy in this way where it was like power over, but it's this beautiful way where we get to really reclaim that power together. You know, being the kind of leader where we actually walk with the village and we link arms and we're rising together.
mhm,
So, yeah, and just seeing like what's possible. I've already seen so many beautiful things be created in this community. Like I remember, I think it was 2021, there was this woman from Africa. Her whole community had to walk 3 hours a day just to get some dirty water. And so we raised money for a K-8 for her. And we also raised money to get a well built in her area. Like
yeah,
this was all done through our community. You know, we're in a
yeah,
global community. So this woman got to like partner with the business and also have a well built from her community because that's what's possible when you have people who are
mhm,
tapped into more resources and you
yeah.
have people all over the world that have this like big network, you know?
Well, and that's just the beauty of like, yeah, like women having the finances to be able to do it to help other people and
Yeah.
stuff, right? Um, yeah, I was gonna say something else and I completely lost it now. Yeah, gone. Oh, that happens sometimes, but um yeah, I really love, oh, I was going to talk about like how health really is wealth, and like the fact that this company focused on wellness and health, and like I was saying, mindset, all that kind of stuff. Like that's what also really appeared to me, because I feel like the more that we take care of ourselves, the better we are at being able to show up in our businesses as well, right? And that is really important to me, because like I don't know, I just feel like I still got a lot of life left. When I think about my girls and just like all the years that we have still, and just like I'm already thinking about like, well, when the grandbabies come, like I want to be able to have the time and the freedom to be able to go and see them and spend time with them and do whatever I want with them, and not have to worry about like, oh, I have to go to job and I have to make the money and I have to no, like I want to just be able to go and do the things and not have to worry about it, right? And so that was the other like appeal to me as well, right? And being healthy enough to still do it, to still like be able to play with my grandkids and that kind of stuff. And so I think like it was just like, yeah, once I wrapped my head around everything, it was like, okay, we're doing this.
Yeah. Yeah. And
Yeah.
just a little spoiler alert, it's literally restructured water. It's not like supplements that you have to buy every single month to like stay at, like this is not like it's not a how you say a traditional like MLM or network marketing company. This is something that literally you get this beautiful machine that creates living restructured water. You get it one time and you get the best water, which we are 80% water, right? It's like 80% of the picture in our health. But yeah, it's like something that I invested in my machine one time 6 years ago, and it's paid me dividends since then. I think I did the math recently. What was it? It was, oh, it's something really crazy. It was literally like, oh, I need to find the number. I don't want to butcher it. I think it was like 191,000% return. It's like something crazy. Return on investment. It's like when you think about it in that way, you're like, no,
Yeah.
okay, you know. Whereas like I was speaking to this woman recently. She's in like a she is in a traditional MLM network marketing company that sells these health and wellness products also, because she's like, oh, like these are products that I love to use anyway, and why not make money from it? But I'm like, they're only making like $10 or so a pop, and it
Yeah.
has to be on subscription. So like you
Yeah.
have to have people be locked into buying things. I don't know. For me personally, I'm quite a minimalist. I travel a lot, and I don't have anything that I've had a subscription. Whoa, what is going on?
I don't know
Weird.
if your filter changed or what happened.
Filter change. I don't have anything that I've had a subscription in that's like really lasted. So I'm like, that's not really a sustainable model, you
Yeah.
know? Because
Yeah.
especially when people are feeling tight in finances, what is the first thing that they stop? Is subscriptions, you know? They cut like these unnecessary things. So I'm like, yeah, but everybody needs water. You're not going to cut off your water supply. Do you know what I mean? It's
Mm.
like
Yeah.
you're going to cut out maybe the extra supplements or the extra shakes and the extra, fancy $50 like household cleaning spray or whatever. You're like, I don't really need that. I'll just use vinegar. But like you're not going to cut off your water supply like to get clean drinking water. So I just think that yeah, what you're saying with that health as being the foundation, it's like it's also something that it's practical and pragmatic that is not it's not trendy, you know? It's something that actually everybody needs.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, and I've tried like doing like the MLM thing or whatever in a company. I'm not going to name which one it was,
We
but
did.
it was like trialsome and exhausting, and like I didn't feel supported, and it was like,
Mm.
oh, like it was all about just like numbers and like, well, if you just spend this much money to get you to the next level, right? And it's like I put more money into this than I was getting out of it just to like hit some sort of level, and I was like, this is ridiculous. Like,
Yeah.
what am I, and for nothing, for like literally like not even enough to sustain my family. Do you know what I mean? So it
Yeah.
was just like, this is ridiculous. This is
Yeah.
ridiculous. This is gonna take me forever. Right. Whereas in like this company, like it's really it of course it is about the amount of time and effort you want to put into it, right?
Absolutely.
But like you have control over that. But the amount of growth you can make in such a short time is like mind-boggling almost. It's like,
Yeah.
yeah, like how you could literally just like change your life within, a month to 6 weeks if you really wanted to, and be at
Yeah.
a completely different income level.
I mean, going even just from low ticket to high ticket was mind boggling to me,
Yeah.
you know? Like, I
Yeah.
remember it
Exactly.
was a really good day at a festival when I would sell, a headpiece that was like 300, I think 350 was like my higher ones. And that's what someone can do on their very first sale, even if it's just one product, you know? And like, yeah, there's ways that when people start, you could make up to like $3,000 from your first sale. And like to me, that's more than rent that I ever paid
That's for
before.
one person.
You know what I mean? Yeah, for most
Yeah.
people, that's like more than what they make in their paycheck.
Hmm.
Do you know what I mean? Like, so yes, it takes the time to really understand and learn the skill sets, but like you said, like you're noticing that support that comes in. I'm sure the more that you dive deeper into the platform, I know that we have more of our upgrades happening and things like this, especially because you have had experience in more of a traditional MLM model. I know a lot of people that come into this space and they're like, oh my God, this is like everything that we didn't even know we needed before. That yeah, really allows you to plug in and have that support where you can learn the skills, whether it's the social media, whether it's the telling your story, whether it's the collaboration piece, the confidence. Inner work is a really big core thing that we work on in this
Yeah.
space because you could give
Well,
someone
it
like a
has to be.
strategy. It has to be,
It
yeah,
has to be. No,
absolutely,
like literally from going through this process, it is a lot of inner work,
yeah.
like to just move through like from even one mindset to the next of like being able to shift into like even believing that this is possible for yourself in
Mhm.
general was
Yeah.
just like a big shift, right? And so the fact that you were supported that way through the process is amazing in itself.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just continuing to see, I remember something, it's still inspiring to me, but especially when I was first starting, before you really start to get the ball rolling, you think like, I don't know, can this really work for me? Is this really possible? Like, this has got to work, but how the fuck is it going to work? It was
Yeah.
really inspiring to me to see people who didn't even know how to save a photo on their iPhone and still ended up earning six figures in their first year. Or also there's some people who didn't even have a sale for their first year, and then suddenly they were earning 50K months.
Right.
So it's like it kind of shows you of like, okay, it's like I use the analogy of popcorn. When you put kernel, or how you
Hmm.
say, kernels in a pot, and it's like nothing, 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 and then one thing pops, and then another, and then it starts to overflow in this way. And it does happen inevitably for people, but it's something that, yeah, that long term vision, really knowing when you know that you're in a model where in the long term, if you don't give up, like inevitably you're going to have an overflowing popcorn of life, in the next 10 years or so. You're like, even when it gets hard, or even when you can't even see the light at the end of the tunnel, you know that it's possible. The only way that you won't have it is if you don't give it a shot.
Hmm. Hmm.
So that's huge. That's what keeps me up every day.
I love that. Well, thank you so much for like doing this live with me, Saber, and sharing. I'm excited about this journey with you for sure. And if anybody wants to learn more, like please reach out to Saber and I, comment legacy, and we can definitely get you um, to see if the webinar is right for you if you want to learn more about that. So
And
yeah.
not even a matter of if. We know that you want to learn more.
Well, we do know that you want to learn more. Yes, but
But I understand that a lot of people might be listening to this and thinking like, yeah, but Shalon is fucking gorgeous. Or yeah, but this woman started when she was 25. She probably had experience. Like whatever your yeah buts are, or like that you think it might be too good to be true. I promise you that whether you think you can or you can't, you are right.
yeah.
And I personally think that, yeah, for everybody who's in this space of, I know I need to have more and I just don't know what that next step is. Even if you think, I don't know, I didn't think about digital marketing, or I want to do my soul work, my coaching, my healing work, whatever it is. Open your mind to the new paradigm and the next layer of what's possible, because just like Shalon was saying, she's realizing that this actually takes her soul mission work to another layer and another level, and it took her time.
Yeah.
So give it the time. Or it's going to be a 1 hour masterclass that I break it down. It is free because we don't want anybody coming here who doesn't feel like a full fuck yes to exploring it. So we just get to peel back the curtains and give you all of the details and really explain how it works, and you get to know if it's for you by the end of that.
And I love that you like, because you were like, oh, this girl was 25 or whatever. And honestly, the fact that like I've heard so many stories about people like restarting their lives and becoming like at 60 and becoming like a millionaire, like is so inspiring to me. It's like we put this limitation on ourselves because of age or because of, this or because of that or because of whatever. And it's like, no, it's possible. Like it is so possible for anybody to do it. It's about really wrapping your head around it and choosing you. Actually, that was the big thing that I had to sit with, is choosing myself and what I
Mm.
wanted for my life, as opposed
Yeah.
to what I thought I needed to do for everybody else.
Yeah. Amen.
Right.
Amen.
So okay, well, thank you everybody for being here and participating today and everything. And like Saber said, if you are a fuck yes, comment legacy and we will reach out to you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Bye, love.